Well, hello. Hello. Yes, hello. How are you today? Are you ready to do the video? Are you really ready to impart the knowledge to the people? Yeah? What do you think? What do you think? Hey, sometimes you get a client who you're working with the client and the dog in the context of a private lesson, and you feel like the dog is paying more attention than the client. Does that ever happen? Go in here. I know that when I had my 3 dog training businesses, it would happen frequently enough that it became a problem. And my friend Lance Stanley just posted this, I think today, on one of the groups. We were talking about it, and it brought to mind so many lessons. And if I can impart one thing to you guys, especially you guys who are just starting your business, it's that every time something weird happens with a client, you need to use that and add it to your systems, right? Because it's not the only time that it's going to happen. You're going to start seeing all this crazy stuff repeat itself. And so if you can preempt that, you're going to be in much better shape. So what I recommended to Lance was that, let me back up. So Lance had an incident where he went out to the client's house and was working with the dog and the client. And while he's working with the dog, the client starts to prepare a meal, right? Like in the middle of the session, they were preparing an actual meal, and then they sit down and they start eating in the middle of the lesson, which is kind of ridiculous. It's like you hire somebody to help you with your dog, and how long is the session? An hour, maybe an hour and a half maximum, and you can't even wait, or your life is such a mess that you can't even just, let me see if I can bring you in here. Your life is such a mess that you can't even, let's see if this works better. My life seems like it's quite a mess. We're in that's not gonna work either. We're in an Airbnb right now in St. Petersburg, Florida. I'll bring you back over here. So your life is such a mess that you can't even get it together to set aside an hour to give your undivided attention. So here's what I recommend. I'm gonna actually read you the post in just a minute. But the gist of it is that you take something that's really annoying that you never want to happen again, and you put it into your contract so that the next client you sign, they have to initial on the contract that they understand that they're required to give you full 100% attention during the lesson, and that there will be no eating of meals and no drinking of alcohol or no this, that, or the other, talking on your phone, taking calls. You insist on 100% attention during the private lesson with them. And it's really not too big of an ask, guys. I mean, it's perfectly reasonable, and any reasonable person is not going to have a problem with that. Here's the thing, and you put in there that there's a consequence. The consequence is that lessons will be terminated immediately if they break the rule, and there will be no refund. And you have that on your contract, and you have them initial it, and you're good to go. Why this works, and I've done this, not necessarily in these words, but I've over the years I've collected all these little idiosyncrasies that people would do, like showing up too late. Like I would say you could show up 11 minutes late to a 1-hour lesson, and if you're later than 11 minutes, then too friggin' bad. You lost that lesson, and you gotta wait till the next lesson, or you gotta pay for another lesson. Because for me, if I'm doing a 1-hour lesson, and I've scheduled you for 1 hour, and you show up half an hour late to a 1-hour lesson, that screws up my entire day, right? And if I have, God forbid I have 2 people do that. Now, instead of finishing my day at 5, I'm finishing my day at 7 because you couldn't get your act together. So once you start communicating this stuff clearly and in advance, right? And that's the thing. You need to address it before the issue comes up. Your life is going to be much easier, and your business is going to run much easier, because again, any reasonable person is going to agree to these terms, right? Especially when you lay it out clearly. And it sets the tone in the beginning. It sets the tone. So, you know what? One of the other things that we would do is we would require a credit card when we booked the consultation. The consultation was free, but we tell them there's an $89 value for the free consultation, evaluation, and temperament test. We do require a credit card just to hold the space. What that means is that as long as you show up, even if you don't like our program, even if you don't want to work with us, even if you just don't like my face, and I know with my face, a lot of people don't like my face, we don't charge a card. The only time we'll charge a card is if you no-show, if you flake. Okay? And so what that does is it plants in their head that these are the rules, and that later on, as they go through your program, if they just decide to no-show, they don't just get a redo free. That costs you money. It's going to cost them money, right? So you can use whatever monetary value you want, but the point is that you communicate that to them up front, that these are the rules, and if you don't like the rules, don't sign up for our program. You're actually going to find that you're going to get much more respect from the clients through the course of your relationship with them as well. That's today's lesson. Hey, if you need a dog training business website, if you want something that is going to convert way better than what you currently got or what the vast majority of your competition are using, check out dogtrainertoolbox.com and click on the box that talks about web design for dog trainers. We have a proven and A/B tested web design solution. It's really, really simple. You take about 15 minutes to fill out our questionnaire, and we'll do the rest, from setting up the entire website, the design, the copy, which is the persuasive text, and all of it uses a template that I've created that we know works. So there's no, paying a web designer $1,800 and then paying a copywriter, the guy that writes the persuasive text, another $3,000 to $4,000 to $7,000, and then getting back some copy that you don't even know that it works. This is tested and proven to work, to convert cold traffic into hot leads and get desperate dog owners who are looking for what you have to sell to pick up the phone and call you, rather than hit the back button and go back and then visit the next dog trainer in the search results. It works really, really well, guys. I want you to use it, because if you're a good dog trainer, that means you're going to be able to help even more dogs. Hey, I'm Adam Katz for dogtrainertoolbox.com. We'll talk to you soon, guys.